Hello and welcome to the Coding Hub. In this video we're going to take a look at HTML for beginners, a very quick HTML tutorial, so please stay tuned to find out more about HTML. But before that, I'd really appreciate it if you can like and subscribe if you like my content, to encourage me to make more of these types of videos. Awesome, thank you. Let's get into it. So HTML, if you clicked on this video, then you're probably wanting to start your coding journey, and a lot of people start their coding journey with HTML, which stands for Hypertext Markup Language, and it's what makes things appear on a web page. Essentially, it's a markup language that helps define how things are displayed on your browser in Safari or Chrome or whatever you use. And it's a standard markup language for creating web pages. It describes the structure of a web page and how it should be, how it connects together and how it should work. It consists of a series of elements, and we'll have a look at those in a minute. And the elements tell the browser how to display content. So different elements have different purposes. And HTML elements label pieces of content such as this is a heading, this is a paragraph, this is a link, etc. So let's get into it. Let's have a look at some HTML elements. So if you open up a development environment, if you haven't got one, then I'd highly recommend pausing this video and going to install VS Code, which is a development environment where you can write code, and think of it as Word for coding. So in here, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new file, and we're going to call this file test.html. So type of file is HTML, and that's how you know HTML files. And let's go ahead and put a bit of HTML in here, and there we go. This is some HTML. So here, what you can see first of all is at the very top, we'll go line by line. So on line 1, you can see doctype HTML. So this declaration defines that this document is of HTML type. It's just for the browser to know, and HTML5 in specific. The HTML elements, these are your different elements. So each element in HTML has a starting and end tag. It starts by just having smaller than and greater than, and the end has the same name but with a / before it. So the HTML element is the root element of an HTML page. You then have the head. So the head element contains some meta information about your page, things like the page title, things like your page descriptions, some other descriptions. And this area here is actually quite important for SEO, for example, but it's not really things that you're necessarily going to specifically see on your HTML page. The body is where you start to see things that are on the page. So the body element defines the document's body, and it is contained for all visible content such as headings, paragraphs, images, hyperlinks, tables, and so on. And in our case, we have a H1 and a P element. The H1 element, it defines a large heading. So the largest heading is H1. You have H2, H3 as well, but H1 is the largest title heading. And P stands for paragraph. So this just defines a bit of text essentially on your page. And now if we want to have a look at this page, then we can open it in our browser. So if you just right click and reveal in Finder, so when you're in here, you can just do open with Safari, and then that will take us to our page. So as you can see here, this displays my first heading and my first paragraph, which is our page. And so what is an HTML element? So an HTML element is defined by the start tag and some content and an end tag. Like I said, you've got your start tag and end tag, and in VS Code it actually highlights the end and the start, which is pretty cool. And so some HTML elements have no content, like the BR element, so that just adds a bit of space between your other elements. These elements are called empty elements. Empty elements do not have an end tag. And so that is the basics of HTML. Some history of HTML is it was created by a guy called Tim Berners-Lee, who invented essentially the internet, so www and HTML. And then the version of HTML5 that we are using now started in 2008 when it started being drafted and created, and it went as the recommended use in 2014 for people to start using HTML5, and that added a load of different elements and ways of doing things on the internet, and it's basically the backbone of the internet as it is today. And that is a very quick look of HTML. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.